Rolex watches are often seen as symbols of luxury, precision, and timeless design. But behind every flawless dial and smooth sweeping second hand lies one of the most advanced manufacturing operations in the world. What looks like a compact mechanical object on a wrist is actually the result of metallurgy, microengineering, chemical science, robotic machining, and human craftsmanship working together under extreme precision. A single Rolex watch contains hundreds of components, many smaller than a grain of rice, all of which must function together perfectly for decades. And today on the How Factory, we're going inside Rolex's highly guarded production facilities to see exactly how Rolex watches are made. From raw metal and synthetic gemstones to finished luxury timepieces tested to the highest standards in the industry. The process begins with materials, many of which Rolex produces in-house to maintain absolute control over quality. Unlike most watchmakers, Rolex operates its own foundry, where raw metals are transformed into proprietary alloys. Stainless steel used in Rolex watches is not ordinary steel, but a corrosion-resistant alloy known as 904L steel, chosen for its durability, polishability, and resistance to salt water and sweat. Gold models use 18-karat gold produced on-site in yellow, white, and Everose gold formulations. Raw metals are melted in high-temperature furnaces, alloyed with precise amounts of other elements and cast into blocks or bars. Each batch is tested to ensure consistency before moving into machining. From these metal blocks, cases and bracelets begin to take shape. CNC machining centers carve the rough shapes of watch cases from solid steel or gold blocks. These machines operate with micron-level accuracy, cutting lugs, crown guards, case backs, and internal cavities where the movement will sit. Multiple machining stages refine the case gradually, removing material step by step to prevent internal stress or distortion. Even at this early stage, tolerances are incredibly tight. Fractions of a millimeter determine whether a movement will fit perfectly or fail assembly later. While cases are being machined, bracelet components are produced in parallel. Individual bracelet links are cut from solid metal blocks, not stamped sheets. Each link is machined, drilled, and shaped individually. This solid link construction gives Rolex bracelets their distinctive weight and durability. Pins and screws that hold the bracelet together are also manufactured in-house, ensuring consistent fit and long-term reliability. Once machining is complete, components move to finishing, a process that combines automation and human expertise. Polishing machines smooth surfaces using rotating brushes and abrasive compounds, but many finishing steps are done by hand. Skilled technicians polish case flanks, lugs, and bracelet edges to achieve the perfect balance between brushed and mirror-polished surfaces. This step alone can take hours per case. Any imperfection, scratch, or uneven reflection sends the component back for reworking. At the same time, Rolex produces its own dials, one of the most visually critical parts of the watch. Dial blanks are stamped from brass or gold and then coated using electroplating or lacquer techniques. Colors such as black, blue, green, or silver are built up in layers, each applied and cured carefully. Some dials receive sunburst finishes, while others are matte or textured. Hour markers are applied individually, often using white gold to prevent tarnishing. Luminous material is placed by machine and then inspected under magnification to ensure uniform brightness. Hands are manufactured separately using precision stamping and polishing. They are coated, filled with luminous material, and inspected for weight consistency. Even slight differences in hand weight can affect movement performance, so strict tolerances are enforced. Perhaps the most complex part of the entire process is movement manufacturing, the mechanical heart of every Rolex watch. Movements consist of hundreds of components, including plates, bridges, gears, springs, levers, and jewels. Rolex produces nearly all of these components internally. Brass plates are machined to hold the gear train, then treated to improve hardness and stability. Gears are cut with microscopic teeth and polished to reduce friction. Synthetic ruby jewels are pressed into plates to act as low-friction bearings, extending the life of the movement. The balance wheel and hairspring are among the most critical components. Rolex manufactures its own hairsprings from proprietary alloys designed to resist temperature changes, shocks, and magnetic fields. These springs are formed and adjusted using laser-guided systems. The balance wheel is machined and weighted precisely to oscillate at a specific frequency. Any imbalance would compromise accuracy. Movement assembly takes place in ultra-clean environments resembling medical laboratories. Watchmakers work under microscopes, assembling components by hand using tweezers and specialized tools. Gear trains are installed first, followed by escapement components, balance assemblies, and automatic winding systems. Lubrication is applied in microscopic quantities at exact points. Too much oil attracts dust, too little causes wear. Robotic systems assist with some steps, but human skill remains essential. Once assembled, movements undergo initial testing. They are powered and monitored for accuracy, amplitude, and power reserve. Adjustments are made by skilled technicians who fine-tune regulation screws and balance components. Movements that fail to meet internal standards are disassembled and corrected. After passing internal tests, movements are cased. The movement is placed inside the finished case along with the dial and hands. The winding crown and stem are installed, allowing manual winding and time setting. The case back is sealed tightly to ensure water resistance. Rolex uses multiple gaskets made from advanced polymers to prevent moisture intrusion. Every seal is tested. Water resistance testing is a defining feature of Rolex manufacturing. Each watch undergoes pressure testing in specialized chambers. First, air pressure tests detect microscopic leaks. Then, water pressure tests simulate depths far beyond normal swimming or diving conditions, depending on the model. Any watch that shows pressure loss is removed immediately for correction. Once sealed, watches enter the final testing phase. Every Rolex is tested as a fully assembled watch, not just the movement. Automated systems monitor timekeeping performance over several days in multiple positions and temperatures. These tests exceed standard chronometer certification requirements. Rolex subjects watches to simulated real-world conditions, ensuring accuracy during daily wear. After testing, watches move to final inspection. Under magnification, inspectors examine every surface: case, bracelet, dial, hands, and crystal. Any cosmetic flaw, no matter how small, results in rejection. Bracelets are sized and adjusted to ensure smooth articulation. Protective films are applied to prevent scratches during transport. The final step is packaging. Watches are placed into presentation boxes along with documentation and certification papers. Serial numbers are logged, allowing each watch to be traced throughout its lifetime. Finished watches are stored in secure vaults before being shipped to authorized retailers around the world. Behind the scenes, Rolex factories operate with extreme secrecy and security. Access is tightly controlled, and processes are compartmentalized. Sustainability is also a focus. Metals are recycled, water is filtered and reused, and energy efficiency is constantly improved. Despite producing hundreds of thousands of watches per year, Rolex maintains consistency by refusing to rush production. Time, precision, and repetition define every step. What makes Rolex manufacturing remarkable is the combination of mass production and artisanal standards. These watches are not handcrafted in the traditional sense, but they are also far from automated commodities. Every component is engineered, finished, and tested to last decades, not years. The goal is reliability, not trend-driven design. From molten steel and gold to microscopic gears and polished cases, the journey of a Rolex watch is one of extreme discipline and control. Each watch represents thousands of manufacturing steps, years of research, and an obsession with perfection that few industries attempt. And that is exactly how Rolex watches are cast, machined, assembled, regulated, tested, and finished inside one of the most advanced luxury watch factories in the world. A hidden fusion of science, craftsmanship, and precision engineering, ticking silently on wrists across the globe. Thanks for watching The How Factory, where we reveal how the world really works. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us again for more deep dives into the machines, materials, and factories behind the world's most iconic products.